You press your finger on the glass and the phone unlocks. There is no camera under there. Nothing lights up. So what exactly is looking at your finger? Start with what a fingerprint even is. It's not a picture, it's a landscape. Tiny ridges that stick up, and valleys between them that don't. That pattern is what makes your finger yours. So the real problem isn't seeing your finger, it's reading a landscape you can't touch. The old sensors, the ones built into a physical button, solved it with electricity. Under that button sat thousands of microscopic sensors, packed together in a grid. Where a ridge pressed down, skin touched the surface and the sensor read one value. Where a valley sat, there was a tiny gap of air instead, and the sensor read a different one. Do that across thousands of points, and the shape draws itself. Clever, cheap, fast, and it needs your skin almost touching the sensor. Then the button disappeared. Screens grew to fill the whole front of the phone, and the reader had to move underneath the display. And that's where the electric trick falls apart, because electricity doesn't reach through a slab of glass well enough to map something as small as a ridge. The sensor needed something else, something that goes through glass and comes back with information. So the answer stopped being light and became sound. The sensor under your screen fires a pulse of sound. Real sound, real vibration, just far too high for your ears to pick up. That pulse travels up through the glass and hits your finger. And here's the whole trick. Where a ridge is pressing on the glass, your skin absorbs most of that pulse. Where a valley sits, there's air, and air sends the sound straight back. The sensor listens for the echo, point by point, thousands of times across your fingertip. Which means it isn't building a photo, it's timing echoes, and timing gives you depth. What the phone gets back is a three-dimensional map of the ridges and valleys of your finger, not a flat image of it. That difference explains two things you've probably noticed. First, why it still works when your finger is damp. Water changes how a picture looks, but a ridge is still a ridge, and it still swallows the pulse. Second, why a printed photo of a fingerprint doesn't fool it. Paper is flat. Paper has no valleys. There's nothing there to send an echo back from. And now the part that surprises most people, this wasn't invented for phones. Sending a sound pulse into something and reading what bounces back is exactly how the ultrasound scan works. The one that shows a baby before it's born. Same idea, different scale. Send sound in. Listen to what returns. Draw what you can't see. One honest note. Not every in-screen reader works this way. Plenty of phones use an optical one instead, which lights your finger up through the screen and photographs it. Cheaper and easier to fool, because it really is taking a picture. So, back to the start. Nothing looked at your finger. A sound you can't hear went in, bounced off the ridges you never think about, and your phone rebuilt the shape of your fingertip out of how long the echo took to come home.